throughout the years of studying, I kind of developed an interest in psychogeography. Uh, so
Keep
I
talking. What is
kind
this
of,
psychogeography?
yeah, so psychogeography is just, let's say, a philosophy where you judge places from subjective experiences and uh, think about the sentimental values of places rather than thinking about them just in architectural facts, for example. Uh, so let's say there's a specific supermarket which is very important, but just for you. But and you can talk about that supermarket for an hour, for example, because you met someone there, and suddenly that supermarket is not a supermarket; it's the supermarket.
Right.
Uh, and just in general, any place which kind of makes people behave in one way or another and evoke some sort of emotions. So it's quite broad. It's a broad philosophy, and it can be applied in many different ways. Uh, but I got started working on some projects in that direction, and I want to join it somehow with my design practice and become a professional psychogeographer.
Oh, I mean, now I gotta ask, how does that work? What is a professional psychogeographer?
I'm trying to figure out myself. Uh,
I mean, yeah,
but yeah,
obviously everyone's gonna have emotional relationships and attachments to different places in their life, and the more time they spend there, the more likely they have a wider variety of experiences there as well. As you were saying about shops, I was like, I remember stealing a couple of chocolates from one, but when I was a kid.
yeah. And I think I'm an observer, and also I really like going for long walks, just in different neighborhoods, and
Hmm.
I kind of not analyze them, but sometimes I see small details and they just uh keep hanging somewhere in my mind.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I'm just almost starting to develop these narratives about certain places
Yeah,
and
I mean,
go to those places.
one of my favorite things to do is when I deal with historical like castles and things like that is like to sit down and just be like, so imagine a day in the life of this place like 200 years ago,
Yeah,
or things like that, and you start thinking about, oh, I'm standing in the same spot where all these events took place over, such amount of time, and then you're like, oh, it's like a trip where it's like the whole universe is like flowing around you, time and
Overwhelmed.
space, and you're like, bro. Do you do
Yeah,
that
so
with places of like, what might have been here?
hmm?
Do you do that with places where you go to and be like, oh, if someone, met their first partner here or had their first kiss over there or they did that over there?
Yeah, I guess I was sort of trying to. I still haven't designed it, but I had this idea of drawing maps, but somehow through my personal, like people who I met in certain places or conversations I had, I'm just trying to do this personal map of a specific place.
Ah, it's like having a map and an overlay on top of it. Is it you have
Yeah,
the
but yeah, it's more like drawn through my personal stories.
yeah, of course. Oh, that could.
Uh,
And is it
sorry.
a visual thing? Sorry, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to do it. So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to achieve now is having this interest in psychogeographical theory and having ability to design things and draw things. So I want to join them somehow.
Yeah, I mean, you just gave me as we're talking, you gave me the idea. You have the classic maps for like Lord of the Rings or The Witcher. You have these maps of like the worlds, and you can create something like that. But instead of Mount Doom, you have that place where this and this happened, and that place where that happened, and little
Yeah, yeah.
illustrations of it. Oh, that's pretty cool. That might be.
Yeah, I mean, such things kind of exist. I think there are some platforms where people can pick a specific point and write something or uh, upload a picture, whatever. But
Hmm.
there's just many different ways to approach it. I
That's like,
worked on this project recently uh, in Glasgow. It's actually up still there. Uh, so that's quite a clear example of psychogeographical project, I guess. So it took this weird underpass in Glasgow's East End and turned it into this
go on.
weird outdoor exhibition. Well, the point of the project was to reveal how many layers can a place have and from how many different perspectives you can view it.
Was that with
Uh,
QR codes or something that you had to scan?
yeah. So it's
So
still
cool.
there. It's not far from Royal Infirmary, kind of near Royston. So it's under the motorway. It's a very weird place. I saw it first when I was taking a bus to Edinburgh. Just looked from the window and I was like, "Whoa, what's that?" Actually, I was thinking about doing some half past now stuff there, but probably it's too public. Uh, but yeah, it has a lot of weird structures there. It's not just a straight underpass. It has like brick dividers, steps, weird corners. It looks like something was supposed to be there, uh, like skate park or playground. I don't know, but it just caught my attention because it looked weird, uh, and also it it looked very suitable for fake outdoor exhibition.
Yeah,
So yeah, then I just produced QR codes that explores the place.
that is kind of cool because you've merged virtual. Well, it's as you said, it's an outdoor exhibition, but it's somewhat virtual as well. So you've got because you got to scan a QR code as far as I remember.
Yeah, so each QR code basically leads to a different approach of how a place can be viewed. So it gives you a sort
Different
of like,
perspectives or from a different
yeah,
person's
so
point of
like,
view or
yeah, so probably, so some of the QR codes leads to things where like I try to analyze the place from its textural side. Like I was taking pictures of the textures and surfaces that were there. Uh, some QR codes lead to such things like I was trying to make a mythical narrative about a place and just create a crazy story that somehow it's special, but it's just a lie. Uh, and yeah, just having these different things. And all the QR codes are kind of hidden all around the area. So
yeah.
just go explore it and you come across something.
Oh,
Uh,
it's kind of cool because I mean, it probably must have been done before. Again, I'm new in this field. I'm learning, but this idea of merging, the subjective art, but also making it virtual, but in real space. It's kind of a it's kind of a new frontier for people because yeah, with the phones now you can do this stuff, but it's kind of like Pokemon Go, but for art.
yeah, I wanted to do something like Pokemon Go, but I think I had a lot of limits because I can't do programming. I have
Yeah.
no knowledge in that at all. So I think it just gradually I was thinking of what I'm capable of doing. And
There's a
then
collab idea.
a website and QR codes seem to be accessible for me. And well, also I was really worried of vandalizing the place. Well,
Mm.
I didn't get any official permission to do there anything. And I kept walking back to the place and checking it, and people come and paint graffitis there. And then someone comes after a few days and paints everything over. Uh, so someone is looking after the place,
Mm.
someone from the council. So I was just afraid that they're gonna track me and I'll have to pay a fine. But actually, the last time I checked it, uh, there were some fresh graffitis which were painted over, but no one touched my QR plates, probably because they look too professional. So they should be still there for anyone to explore.
Ooh, cool. I learned something, man. This is exciting.